This is Actualize Freedom, straight talk on growing clicks and conversions on Amazon FBA from people doing it every day. Now here's your host, digital marketing acrobat, Danny Kenji Carlson.
What's up, guys? Danny Carlson here with the Actualize Freedom podcast, and this is going to be a special edition episode where we're going into what you can expect from the European Seller Conference in 2020. And we have here the founder of the conference, and he's going to give us an idea. Is this conference going to be for you? Is it something that could be valuable for your Amazon business? And I know certainly in my experience that going to these kind of events, it's a lot more valuable than you really think. It's not just about what you learn at the conference. That's definitely good and it's valuable, but it's really about the relationships that you make with the people you meet at the conference. What goes on during the lunch break? What goes on, in the back room, over in the hallway? Those little side conversations have, at least for myself, been some of the most valuable pieces that, even though the ticket price of these conferences can look expensive on the front end, it really takes one, maybe two of those really key relationships to make that investment completely worth it. So welcome to the podcast, Augustas. How's it going?
Hello, Danny. All good. Thank you. Everything is well on my side, preparing for the conference. Not so much left. Just about 2 weeks left, and so we are busy.
2 weeks coming up here. And maybe just tell us a little bit about what people can expect at the conference. This is just an in-person conference, right? Or is there going to be some kind of online presence too where people can follow what's going along, or YouTube videos being released later on? What's going on here?
Yeah, so it's in-person conference happening for the second time in the center of Europe, in Prague, Czech Republic. And the idea was to unite European Amazon sellers. Of course, we're getting not only European sellers in this event, but about 2 years ago, I saw that there is a lack of international conference for Amazon sellers in European continent. This is how this all started. This is happening second time, and it's in person only. We did have video recordings from last year, but we didn't really sell them. We just gave to the attendees. And this year also, we are not planning at the moment to sell the recordings. It will be just like a bonus for attendees. You asked if there will be anything online. Not this time. One day I'm thinking to test live streaming, but it's already next step for the conference. It takes a lot of preparation to live stream. So we'll see how this will evolve. It's already growing. Last year we had 170 people. This year we should have more than 200. So I'm excited to bring this to the community.
And yeah, Prague is definitely one of the most beautiful cities I've ever been to in Europe. So I'm considering just maybe getting a last-minute ticket down there myself and seeing what's going on. But for the people who are listening, who is wondering if this is the right fit for them, what kind of people normally show up to this conference? Is it mostly Amazon sellers of a certain range, or is it Amazon service provider, business owners? Like, who kind of shows up to these conferences?
So definitely it's not, well, maybe it's for beginners, but I don't think many beginners are coming because the ticket to the conference is about 500 euros. Plus, in my conference, everybody will be like not a tourist, but foreigners in Czech Republic. I'm not getting very many Czech people attending. So everybody will be traveling. So you have to invest into accommodation, traveling. So it's at least $1,000, 1,000 euro investment. That means I'm expecting at least some kind of mostly intermediate sellers. Of course, I get some big fishes from Europe. So they are coming to network with other big sellers. Mostly intermediate are coming, and I also tell to the speakers to prepare content which is targeted to intermediate or advanced sellers, because whenever it's advanced things, intermediate sellers can look at it and understand. So this is how I target it. And of course, there are probably in any conference, there are service providers. In my case, there is maybe a quarter of people which are service providers. So it's a lot of networking and a lot of cooperations happening between service providers and between services and sellers as well. So it's a big mix.
And I'd be curious to hear your experience with meeting key people and making key business relationships at these kind of events. Give us maybe an example of, who is a person that you've met at an event like this. Like, how did you meet them? Did you just meet them in the hallway at lunchtime, and what kind of relationship came out of that meeting?
So I meet a lot of people, and maybe too many sometimes. So, and I also am not an Amazon seller. So basically, the people who are coming, they are not suitable for my business of organizing events. Maybe to keep a very long relationship with many of them. But what I heard some stories where people are coming to my event, and then they meet the other smart seller or smart person from another country, and then they start masterminding and having calls every week, and then the guy comes to my next conference and he says, oh, I'm still, like, after 3 months we're still communicating with that person. So there is a lot of power, and also speakers get a lot of connections with other influencers, with other service providers. Amazon sellers, I know that also built relationships with actually, I know that someone even got a job in one of the service providers companies. So it's obviously a big part, this networking. Sometimes I think for those who are coming to attend conferences for the first time, they are not, they are expecting just a good content. We as organizers of conferences, we try to bring good content, but it's sometimes very difficult to control. We are trying, of course, to ask speakers to provide valuable information, but at the end, not everyone understands this valuable information in the same way. So there are different kind of levels of information provided on the stage, but a lot of things of the business, from the business side and growing the business, happens outside the conference room, of course.
Yeah, and I want to circle back to something you said about the price point being 500 euros, and why I think I agree with you that that's a good thing that the price point is high. Is that means that everyone who is showing up to this conference is a certain level of serious, right? Someone's not going to go fly to Prague and pay 500 euros for a ticket unless they are already doing some decent revenue, or they have invested a large amount of their time and money into making stuff work, right? So you're going to be networking with people who are qualified as probably good people to network with. This is not your average go to meetup.com and whoever shows up here is who you're meeting, right? So I'm a big proponent of paying to be in the room with other people who are paying to be in the room. What do you think about that?
Yes, exactly. And actually, this price, maybe to some people, especially in Eastern Europe, might look high, but I probably need to make it more clear what you're getting from for this price. It's not only just sitting in a room and listening to presentations. It's happening in a 4-star hotel, which feels like 5-star hotel, and food is excellent. We're doing it for the second time in the same place. So food was, you will not be hungry, and you will be very satisfied food wise. Also coffee breaks, lunch breaks are included. And on the first day, it's a 2-day conference. On the first day, dinner is also included with a networking night, which includes drinks, soft drinks, wine and beer. So basically on the first day from 8 in the morning when registration starts, you can stay in a hotel for 16 hours until midnight or later, and network with people and talk to people, and you will be provided with everything you need. Second day is a bit different. We don't have dinner, but everything else stays the same: coffee breaks, lunch breaks. So this networking part in the evening, I mean, when you start from 6 o'clock in the evening, you can just for 6 hours just chat and chat and chat, and this is where the biggest part of the conference takeaways happen, I think. So
Oh, I totally agree with that. And just to share my experience with that, it was at Capitalism Conference maybe 3 years ago, and I got to hang out there with Kevin King, as someone that's been on this podcast, and I'm sure a lot of you have heard of this guy. And we went out to dinner a few times and just spent a lot of time around each other. And the amount of golden nuggets that I just picked up from him just talking, he just likes to talk about Amazon so much that all these little side conversations that are going on is about some nerdy marketing strategy that he's trying, what is something that he tried that really didn't work, and then a new thing he's testing out right now. He's just constantly spitting off golden nuggets that he's not sharing in his YouTube videos or his podcast interviews and stuff like that. This is stuff that is super, super valuable that you're only going to get from meeting people like that in person. So I just wanted to share that experience. And you think if listeners are listening right now and they've never been to a conference before, and they're like, maybe it's worth it, maybe it's not worth it, what would you say to someone like that who is on the fence about going to their first Amazon seller conference?
Well, actually, we at Orange Click, we plan to organize 5 more conferences this year in Europe, and I'm maybe honest. I don't want if someone is really struggling with money, they don't need to come to this conference. They can come to a cheaper ones, which we will do in the following months. So I know I'm coming from Lithuania, from Eastern Europe, so I know this kind of struggle when people don't have money. This is where I grew up in Soviet times. So I do understand when sometimes it's difficult to go over the limit and invest more money which you think you cannot afford. But European Seller Conference is for me the most important. So I'm putting a lot of energy. I'm putting a lot of organizational details. It will be the best conference out of what we organize during this year. So from this perspective, this is the most worth to come and experience. And I really want this to become like a central meeting point for European-based sellers. And as I said, we're getting also sellers from United States, from Asia. Well, maybe this time from Asia, not so many because of the virus going on, but I know that there will be about 20 people from United States coming. But what's important that everybody is minority. There is no, when you go to the conference, maybe in Germany, there are mostly Germans. If you go to UK, there are a big percentage of British people or UK people. And in European Seller Conference is just out of 200 people, the maximum is 20 maybe from UK, and all others are coming with smaller numbers from different countries. So it's a huge, huge experience to meet different cultures, different mindsets, different points of view, how you can look at this business. So I traveled myself to more than 60 countries, and I know how important it is to mix with other nationalities and other mindsets, other cultures. This is how I grew, and I opened up a lot of new ideas for my life when I was traveling. So this is what I'm trying to bring into Amazon community as well.
Excellent. So awesome, guys. If you are interested in checking out more details about this conference, there is europeanseller.com. And this is coming up on, 16 days from now when we're recording here, but that's going to be March 12th to 13th, 2020 in Prague. Beautiful, beautiful city there. One of the most gorgeous cities. So like I said, guys, I'm considering making a last-minute decision and just heading out there myself. So if I do, stay tuned to my social medias and you'll see me out there. And please reach out to me so we can go hang out at the conference. And if people want to reach out to you online, Augustas, where's the best place for them to do so?
Well, maybe the easiest if they just Google Augustas Orange Click. Even if you will make spelling mistakes, which is for sure will happen, you should end up on my website, and then you should be able to find my email. But please don't reach out to me through social media. I don't like chatting on the chatting programs. What I also wanted to say about Prague's experience, conference is March 12th, 13th, but actually on March 10th, we're doing a free meetup via meetup.com platform for mostly we're expecting, of course, Czech people or Prague people to come, but there will be several Amazon experts and conference speakers which are coming to attend that meetup. We're expecting maybe between 50, 70 people. So even if you don't want to come to the conference and you live nearby, come on March 10th to the free meetup. This information you can find on meetup.com. Look for Prague Amazon Seller Meetup Group. And I hope in the future years we will make it like 1 week experience of different socializing activities and free meetups, and then ending up with conference. So looking forward to how this event will evolve in the next years.
Awesome, Augustas. Well, thank you for your time on here. And guys, if you're looking for any of the links or information we talked about in this episode, you can find those in the show notes at actualizedfreedom.com. And if you haven't already, go leave us a review on iTunes. We love every person who leaves us a 5-star review, and we cry every single time we get a review that's not 5 stars. And it makes me feel terrible about myself. And I don't want to feel terrible about myself, guys. 5-star review. Okay, until next time, guys, take care and go get some Amazon sales.
For show notes and resources mentioned in this episode, visit kenjiroi.com.